Hello and welcome to Nightline. I'm Brandon Wong. The headlines. Bill to lower voting age to 18 to be tabled in June. And Vietnamese suspect in Kim Jong-nam's murder handed prison term. Good morning. A proposal to amend the federal constitution to lower the voting age from 21 years to 18 years will be brought up in the next parliamentary session. Youth and Sports Minister Syed Saddiq Syed Abdul Rahman said his ministry will spearhead the motion and he would table the proposal on behalf of the government during the June sitting.
Pada mesyuarat Jemaah Menteri yang lepas, Jemaah Menteri telah pun membuat satu ketetapan khas di mana kita bersetuju untuk meminda perlembagaan untuk menurunkan had umur mengundi daripada 21 tahun ke 18 tahun, dan kita juga buat pertama kali dah setuju timeline-nya. Sebelum ni we haven't set the timeline, iaitu timeline-nya pada sesi parlimen yang akan datang.
Syed Saddiq told this to reporters after delivering a keynote address at the Rise of the Asian Tiger convention at University Technology Mara in Shah Alam, Selangor on Monday. PH announced its plan last September to lower the legal voting age. The federal constitution has set 21 years of age as the limit for voting eligibility. However, the government had agreed to reduce the threshold from 21 to 18 for the next general election and onwards. Several amendments to the federal constitution are expected to ensure that the country's polling system could be more transparent and fair. The effort will need bipartisan support as constitutional amendments must gain approval from 2/3 of the federal lawmakers. PH only has a simple majority in the Dewan Rakyat. A Vietnamese woman accused of assassinating the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, was sentenced to 3 years and 4 months in jail by the Shah Alam High Court after she pleaded guilty to a lesser charge on Monday. Her lawyer, however, said she will likely be freed next month. Hisham Tepotek, the counsel of the accused, Tuan Thi Huân, told reporters that his client is expected to return home in the first week of May. This, as Tuan, originally charged with murder, gave the guilty plea to an alternative charge of causing injury. The judge, Dato Azmi Arifin, ordered for her sentence to begin from the date of her arrest on February the 15th, 2017. In his ruling, the judge also said Tuan was lucky to be offered an alternative charge by the prosecution that provided an imprisonment for up to 10 years or fine or whipping, compared with the initial charge, which comes with a mandatory death penalty upon conviction. Tuan was previously slapped with the murder charge with 4 others still at large by smearing the VX nerve agent on the victim's face at the departure hall of KLIA-2 on February the 13th, 2017. Monday's proceedings was initially fixed to hear Tuan's defense against the murder charge. The Shah Alam High Court had on March the 11th given a discharge not amounting to an acquittal to the other accused in the case, Indonesian Siti Aisyah, after the prosecution withdrew the case against her. Following which, Tuan, through her lawyer, submitted a representation to the Attorney General's chambers for a review of the charge against her, but it was dismissed. The court had, on August 16 last year, ordered Siti Aisyah and Tuan to enter their defense on the charge of murdering Jong-nam. The Communications and Multimedia Ministry, through Radio Television Malaysia RTM, is setting up a free high-definition sports channel for the people. Its Minister Gobind Singh Dio said the effort is an initiative of the government to help promote and develop the sports industry while fostering unity and instilling the spirit of patriotism. Speaking at the 73rd anniversary celebration of RTM and the launch of the station's new trial channel at Angkasa Puri on Monday, Gobind said he would continue to assist RTM to remain relevant despite new technology and stiff competition.
Siaran-siaran sukan berprestij juga akan disiarkan, di mana RTM telah mendapatkan hak siaran seperti Asian Basketball League (ABL), Cup Bricks, Kejohanan All England, Malaysia Axiata Open dan BWF World Championship dan Copa America. Acara sukan serantau SEA Games Manila 2019 turut juga diberikan perhatian.
Gobind added that for next year, he hoped the UEFA Football League would also be aired. He also said that RTM is working on obtaining the broadcasting rights for the European tournament. Current provisions in the country's laws are sufficient to address issues related to insulting the Malaysian monarchy, particularly on the social media platform. Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said there is no necessity to enact a special law to protect the royal institution similar to the one in neighbouring Thailand.
Setakat hari ini kita tidak lagi berbincang sama ada keperluan suatu akta macam di Thailand yang disebutkan oleh Yang Berhormat Cameron Highland, ada undang-undang khas untuk raja-raja seperti Her Majesty yang disebutkan tadi. Peringkat kita belum fikir sesuai, tetapi peruntukan yang ada dalam akta hasutan itu kita akan teliti dan ada cadangan untuk kita masukkan di bawah kanun keseksaan.
He said this when responding to a question by Cameron Highlands MP Ramli Muhammad Noor in the Dewan Rakyat on Monday. Tan Sri Muhyiddin also said that in close to 7 years, a total of 97 cases were investigated on grounds of insulting the monarchy, with 11 individuals charged in court. Earlier this year, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said Malaysia's laws must properly define what is considered insulting to the monarchy in line with the current societal conditions. He had said that this must be spelled out clearly so that enforcement officers know what sort of actions or words can be considered as insults. Meanwhile, speaking to reporters at the Parliament lobby, Tan Sri Muhyiddin said that the Home Ministry is planning to review the Standard Operating Procedures (SOP) for granting citizenship. According to the Home Minister, the review is aimed at speeding up the process of granting citizenship.
What we need to do is to speed up where it is feasible, so that those concerned parties will not have to wait.
Tan Sri Muhyiddin said the proposed reviews on the SOPs of granting citizenship will be based on the law and the constitution. Adding to that, he also said that the government would not allow ministry officials to make arbitrary decisions over the rights of a person to get citizenship. Putrajaya has yet to make a decision requiring a rare earths company, Linas Malaysia, to send back its waste to Australia. Entrepreneur Development Minister Ridzuan Yusof said while the government has clear that it would allow Linas to continue operating, the issue of waste was a separate matter which needed to be addressed. Speaking to reporters at the Parliament lobby on Monday, Ridzuan said the Pakatan Harapan government was a business-friendly government, adding that Linas' investment is too big to ignore.
We should allow Linas to operate, okay? And waste is waste, as far as I know, waste, what we discuss has to be managed. If it is necessary to be sent back to Australia in view of some facts or findings that we have made, then so be it. As it is now, we cannot so paint a picture to the investing public that we are not friendly to investors. There are a lot of spin-off. You must remember, Linus is a very strategic industry to the world.
Ridzuan also appeared unfazed that his remarks contradicted Yobi Yin's and said that the Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change Minister should take responsibility for her statement. Yo earlier said that the government has formed a task force to facilitate the sending back of Linas waste to Australia. She also said that Linas needs to ship out its waste as a precondition for the renewal of its license. In Pulau Pinang, a massive waterspout wreaked havoc on the island when it appeared following a heavy downpour just before noon on Monday. It also left a trail of destruction with at least 15 houses as well as hawker stalls at Jalan Tokong Lama severely damaged in the incident at about 1:30 p.m. Like a scene out of a Hollywood disaster movie, several videos captured by social media users showed the waterspout swirling off the coast of Tanjung Tokong. Astonished witnesses who captured the moment said the waterspout swirled for several minutes on calm sea before slowly approaching land and the low-cost flats nearby. Some even said the waterspout was bigger in size when compared to complex Tun Abdul Razak or Komta building. When the waterspout made landfall, the strong winds also picked up zinc sheets from a construction site, swirling them in the air. 75-year-old resident Nana Khalid said some of the debris nearly fell on her. At the time, she was waiting outside for her grandchild to return home from school and her husband from work. As the three were about to enter the house, they heard a loud bang and saw a piece of wood and zinc sheet fall in front of the house.
Makcik pun nak masuk 75 tahun. Esok 1 bulan 4, makcik punya umur cukup dah. Kali ni lah makcik baru tengok umur makcik. Baru dah umur makcik baru tengok. Aku ni punya ribut, aku ni punya angin. Tak terbang. Musim-musim lah. Ya Allah, tak pernah tengok. Tak pernah tengok yang ni, tengok takut. Tu pakcik duduk tadi, pakcik balik kerja. Kata tu sudah motor-motor, angin kuat memang masuk. Tuan-tuan pada pang dengar kayu terjun dari atas. Musim-musim. Oh, takutlah, ya Allah. Tak boleh tengok. Umur makcik dah tua, tak boleh tengok. Oh, kali pertama tengok ni.
Other residents affected by the incident said the roof of their houses were also blown away. Photos and videos of the tornado-like phenomenon forming out of dark storm clouds over the island, as well as the damages it caused, have also gone viral on social media. Fortunately, there were no immediate reports of casualties as a result of the close encounter. After the breather, IRB slaps Najib with 1.5 billion ringgit tax bill. Details next. Nightline continues. The Inland Revenue Board, IRB, has reportedly billed Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak for an extra 1.5 billion ringgit of income tax. According to the Edge Financial Daily, the IRB had sent a letter to the former Prime Minister about a week ago, stating the extra tax he had to pay for the years 2011 to 2017. Quoting anonymous sources, the report said the amount is on top of what Datuk Sri Najib had already paid based on his declared income for the 7 years. Based on its investigations, the IRB has assessed that the former Prime Minister had not declared taxable income of close to 4 billion ringgit for the period. The amount included the 2.6 billion ringgit that Datuk Sri Najib has insisted was a donation he received from Saudi Arabia. Amid the report, Datuk Sri Najib, through his Facebook post, however, insisted that the political donation received from Saudi Arabia is not subject to taxes under the law. In Kedah, 3 people in one family, including a 6-year-old, were charred to death in their home at the Bukit Malut fishing village in Langkawi on Monday. The victims were identified as Muhammad Naha Suhaimi, 39, his wife Nur Suhaila Ahmad, 41, and their son Muhammad Naufal. Langkawi Fire and Rescue Department Zone 4 Chief Muhammad Fadlullah Muhammad Noor said the fire station received the distress call at about 7 a.m. The victims had already died when firefighters put out the fire, with the child's body found together with his mother in the bathroom. Initially, the firemen were told by the neighbours that there was no one at home as the victims had gone out to sea.
Dan selepas membuat pemeriksaan, dapati ada 3 body lah rentung dalam rumah ni yang kita percayai ahli keluarga lah, ahli keluarga, di mana seorang tu lelaki berada di ruang tamu, bahagian ruang tamu, dan manakala wanita dan juga budak kecil berada di ruang bilik air, di bilik utama. Kemungkinan terperangkap semasa kejadian untuk melarikan diri.
Dan rentung tu berapa peratus?
Oh, ini boleh kata 100% ni. Kalau untuk yang lelaki tu 100% memang dah tak nampak lagi features lagi. Dan untuk perempuan tu adalah dalam 80 boleh kata kan. Kita boleh kata 80 masih nampak fizikal lagi.
The remains of the 3 victims will be taken to the Sultanah Bahia Hospital Al-Usta for a post-mortem which will be conducted on Tuesday. It is reported that the fire had destroyed 70% of their home. As of now, the investigation paper had been classified as a sudden death report case. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. In Kelantan, a man was sentenced to 7 years of prison along with 1 stroke of the cane for committing a parang armed robbery with a partner who is already deceased. Kota Baru Sessions Court Judge Ahmad Basli Bahrudin issued the sentence after the accused Izul Helmi Ismail, 22, was found guilty. According to case files, the accused, along with an accomplice, committed the offence towards Said Abdullah Said Ali Al-Sagov, aged 48, by taking 2 mobile phones worth 4,000 ringgit altogether. Over in Terengganu, a transgender woman and her accomplice were sentenced to 3 months jail by the Kuala Lumpur Magistrates Court on Monday. The accused were charged with stealing makeup removers, cosmetics, deodorant and a bottle of perfume worth 150 ringgit, to which they pleaded not guilty. Magistrate Abdul Hayy Salim, however, replaced the sentence with 4 hours of community service a day for 3 months, in which failure to comply would result in it reverting to the initial sentence of 3 months jail. In Selangor, a cleaner found a black plastic garbage bag containing a body in Section 1, Bandar Kinrara, earlier on Monday. Serdang Police Chief said in the 11 a.m. incident, an unidentified body was placed at the corner of a shop in front of a school. The unidentified body is believed to be that of an adult, wrapped in clear plastics and a blanket, and was sent to the Serdang Hospital for post-mortem. Meanwhile, in Sabah, 5 Filipinos and 3 local Tekongs were detained by the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, for suspicion of violating licensing conditions under the Fisheries Act 1985 on Sunday morning. In the operation, a maritime patrol boat detected and arrested the occupants of 3 boats who were fishing at about 0.6 nautical miles north of Pulau Kerok in Kunak. The case is being investigated under the Fisheries Act 1985 after the boats clearly violated licensing conditions which stated that a boat is only allowed to fish in at least 3 nautical miles from land. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, in collaboration with the Royal Malaysian Police, PDRM, has detained 3 individuals in raids aimed at curbing the abuse of social media. The raids were focused on 4 locations in Bangi, Shah Alam, Kuala Lumpur and Cameron Highlands. All the individuals were detained for sending offensive content and sexually explicit videos via WhatsApp and SMS with the intent of causing disturbance and harassing others. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad says hard work, knowledge and keeping to one's word are quintessential values to achieve success. The Prime Minister gave Malaysians a lesson in history to remind them about the importance of inculcating these values to be on the right path. Reflecting on his own achievements, Tun Dr. Mahathir said he only managed to get moderate results for his then Malaysian Certificate of Education MCE examination, but he pressed on because he was afraid of being considered a failure.
Mempunyai nilai hidup yang baik amatlah penting untuk memajukan seseorang, satu kaum ataupun satu bangsa. Ini penting. Kita bukan saja akan dapat banyak kebaikan daripada kerajinan, tetapi apabila kita rajin, tidak hasil kerja kita akan meningkat dan menjadi lebih baik. Kerana seperti yang saya katakan tadi, apabila kita membuat sesuatu berkali-kali, maka kita akan mencapai kejayaan yang mungkin lebih daripada mereka yang cerdik, yang pandai tapi malas.
Then Dr. Mahathir said this in his keynote address on the Malaysian resurrection as Asian Tiger in conjunction with the Asian Tiger Convention held in Shah Alam, Selangor on Monday night. When we return, dozens killed after thunderstorm struck southern of Nepal. Stay with us. On to the foreign front. Rescuers struggled on Monday to reach villages in southern Nepal, cut off by a powerful rainstorm that killed at least 35 people and injured hundreds more. According to local authorities, the storm swept through villages in the farming region of Bara and Pasa districts in southern Nepal, about 120 kilometers south of the capital Kathmandu on Sunday night. The most damage and casualties have been reported in the Bara district, which is very close to the Indian border. Police said most of the deaths were caused by collapsing walls and falling bricks in homes, as well as toppled trees and electricity poles. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli, meanwhile, expressed his condolences and said that the government would do its best for treatment of the injured. In Peru, at least 20 people were killed while 10 others were injured in a bus fire at an illegal transport terminal in Lima. Initial investigations revealed an electrical fault at the rear of the bus had triggered the blaze just after 7:30 p.m. local time. According to authorities, most of the victims burned to death, trapped on the upper level of the interprovincial bus. Others asphyxiated on the stairways connecting the upper and lower levels. Authorities, however, did not say how many people were on board. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is facing a major political setback after his party lost control of the capital, Ankara, in a keenly fought local election battle. Preliminary results also showed the opposition is narrowly ahead of the president's Justice and Development Party, AKP, in Istanbul, the country's largest city. According to officials, the opposition People's Republican Party, CHP, won more than 50% of votes in Ankara, while the AKP trailed on around 47%, whereas in Istanbul the results were too close to call on Monday, with CHP receiving 48.79% of votes, narrowly ahead of AKP with 48.51%. It is the first time in 25 years that the AKP has lost its grip on the capital. Nationally, however, the party has won more than 51% of the votes in the municipal elections. The breather. Federer claims his fourth Miami Open title. Stay tuned. Now on to sports. Tennis, the Miami Open. Roger Federer claimed his 101st career trophy after sweeping past John Isner in the finals on Monday. The battle between the previous two Miami Open champions began with Federer starting out strong as he trashed the American in the first set 6-1. The world number 4 then kept his momentum going in the second set as he beat Isner 6-4, closing the encounter in just over an hour. This was his fourth Miami Open championship title, and the triumph moved the Swiss ace up to number 4 in the world ranking. That sports item wraps up Nightline this time around.